Hey, what's up guys? Walt Ribery here. We do this every single day. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and comment. Today I'm going to be showing you diminished chords, which you hear a lot in movies. If you move them up in minor thirds, it's kind of like the intense part. And then I'll just leave it to C. So what I showed you before was the major seventh, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5, and now it's going to be diminished. Okay, so let's first start, and I'm going to explain everything about this, about how diminished chords work, the intervallic structure of them, how to build your own, and you'll be a pro at this. A pro, I'm telling you, in like the next like 7 minutes. All right, so let's start with the blank canvas, and let's go with our diminished chord. Diminished is known as, not known as, but that the icon for it a lot of times is like a little dot. It's almost like the degrees sign. So if I were to put a C before it, this chord that I'm telling you to play is a C diminished. You might also see it as a C dim, and that's how you, so that's a C diminished. That's also a C diminished. And the intervallic structure for that, I'm going to erase it. So the intervallic structure, like the intervals, are root. So what you know as your 7th chord is root 3, 5, 7. But if you want a diminished chord, you don't only flatten the 3rd, you don't only flatten the 5th, and you don't only flatten the 7th. What you do, what makes it a fully diminished chord, is, get this, you double flat the 7. See that? Root, sorry that flat sign's really close, but anyway, root, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7. Check this out. We all know, I know you're confused. You're saying, isn't a double flat 7 the same as a 6th? Yes, and if you don't know what this means, if you're confused in the video, hang tight, check this out, and read the info below in the video description, and you'll be a pro at this, I'm telling you. So, okay, let's start this slow, very slow. Okay, C, E, G, B. That's my C major 7. Let's zoom in on that. C, E, G, B. C major 7. If I were to make this a C, E, G, B flat, I now have that as a C7 chord. If I were to do this, if I were to flatten the 3rd, it's now a C minor 7th chord. If I were to flatten the 3rd, 5th, as well as a 7th, it's a C minor 7 flat 5. But now if I were to do a B double flat, it's now a fully diminished chord, okay? This is really confusing, and I know you're confused, but check this out. You'll be a pro, I promise you. Okay, so how's this work up? Well, yesterday it had, come on. It's supposed, there we go. It's supposed to erase, go blank. Okay, so you have two types of chords that are diminished. You have the circle with the line through it. Let's erase that. You have the circle with the line through it, and you have the circle. And I just showed you what the circle meant. If you have the C, this top one is saying half diminished chord. It's a diminished sign but cut in half. The one on the bottom is a C diminished. The only difference from a diminished chord to a half diminished chord is the double flat 7. Okay, so now let's walk up this. Okay, what you got to understand though is the biggest thing with a diminished chord, not a half diminished, but a fully diminished chord. Okay, the biggest thing with a fully diminished chord is that it's all a bunch of flat thirds, or what they refer to as minor thirds. Flat thirds or minor thirds, okay? So let's walk up this. If I were to go C, E flat, G flat, okay, root, flat 3, flat 5, let's double flat the 7, B double flat, it's not A, okay, that's another thing. Don't say to yourself C, E flat, don't say C, E flat, G flat, A. It's not. It's B double flat. Although they're enharmonics, they're the same note. it's incorrect mentally to think like that, and it just got erased. Well, anyway, when you walk up that C, E flat, G flat, B double, B. I hate this program anyway. C, E flat, G flat, B double flat. Notice how that's all minor thirds. Okay, minor third. E flat to G is a minor third. G flat. You guys are going to laugh at my handwriting. C to E flat is a minor third. E flat to G is also a minor third. G flat to B double flat is also a minor third in terms of the interval. Okay? And then if you were to continue it, B double flat to C is also a minor third. So, probably saying to yourself, wow, this is really intense. Well, it is a little bit, but check this out. Here's your C note. I'm still in my pajamas because I just woke up. Here's your C. All right? If I were to walk up C to a minor third, it's based off my minor scale. Okay, so 1 minor third. But if I were to walk up a minor third again, there's my next note in the diminished scale: C, E flat, G flat, and here is my B double flat. Okay, so what we know before is that this was our major chord. The way I'm going to make it my major seventh is I take my root and I go down and add the seventh note in there. So we have this. That's how we get those jazz chords. Okay, so let's continue that. Here's my major seventh. If I were to flatten my third or my seventh, so I'm going C, E, G, B flat or B. If I were to make that a B flat, it's now C7, and I'll put all this info in the description below. If I were to flatten my third, it's now a C minor 7. If I were to flatten my fifth, right here, if I were to flatten my fifth, right here, that G, it's now my C minor 7 flat 5. This is the circle with the dash through it, the half diminished chord, okay? And if I want it to be a full diminished, I got to make this double flat 7. So I got to move this down a half step, but then I have to re-finger my fingers, if that makes sense. Then there you have it. This finger plays the same note. I'm just playing. I'm moving this finger down a fret. See what I'm doing? This guy, moving that down a fret. This one stays the same. Okay. So there's your fully diminished chord. And since it's all based off of minor thirds, the notes in this chord are C, E flat, G flat, and B double flat. But if I were to move up, here's the same notes, just in a different configuration. Okay? Now my C is here. Now my E flat is here. Now my G flat is here. And now my B double flat is here. So, and it's the same thing with this, and it's the same thing with this. All right? So, when would I use a diminished chord? Diminished chords are awesome chords. You can use them for a lot of what they call chord substitutions. I'm going to play a quick thing for you. Just check this out if you're still watching. Okay, here's your C. But I'm going to instead play a B diminished chord. Okay? And I'm going to have that replace, a couple chords. So here, I'll go C, and then I'll have that descending bass line. Da, da, da. So, Then I'll go to A minor. Do it again. I'll throw the A minor in there this time. Okay, so although it has that kind of like outside sound, that very intense, dramatic sound, it can sound very beautiful if you use it in the correct setting. That I'm leading everything back to C. So that's the idea of a diminished chord. Let's just recap it really, really quick. Let's take it very slow. It's only been 10 minutes. People spend weeks, months trying to understand this concept, but I think I hopefully explained it well. The concept is that my C major, let's walk up this really quick. Here's a blank canvas. My C major chord, my C major chord, let's walk up and go C, E, G, C to make it, to make it a C major 7, oops. To make it a C major 7, it's going to be C, E, G, B. To make it a C7, we're going to flatten the B. To make it a minor 7th, of course, you flatten a third, that's what makes it minor. A minor 7 flat 5, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a minor, check it out, it's a minor 7th with a flat 5th. So this is referred to right here, this is your half diminished chord, because it's a root, flat 3rd, flat 5, double flat 7. Okay? And if I want it to be a full, or no, I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not a double flat 7. Root, flat 3rd, flat 5, flat 7. Now if I were to make this a B double flat, now you have the double flat 7. And this is a full diminished chord. And going back to the symbols, this, let's do this. C diminished can be written out like this. C diminished, or half diminished, can be written out as, how would you write, yeah, I think that's the, I don't know this symbol. I don't think, now I'm thinking about it, I don't think there's a symbol for half diminished. Anyway, C diminished is C with the circle, or you can write C Dim, or any, I mean, these are interchangeable. It's to be B diminished, B Dim, whatever. And then C half diminished just has the circle with the line through it. This is just the circle. Okay, so there's the concept, guys. So try and build your own diminished chords and see if you can throw them in your writing, half diminished. Let's double flat the 7th, make it a fully diminished chord. And it's interchangeable. The chord mirrors itself, don't forget. So you can walk up minor thirds, and it's the same chord, just in different patterns. It's really cool. So that's when I'm walking up like that. It works because it's the same scale. And then it might help to see it on the piano too. So you know, try and see it on the piano. Flatten the 3rd, flatten the 5th, flatten the 7th, then double flat the 7th, and keep the root, and you'll be able to see it visually. So that's it. Subscribe, rate, and comment. Whew, that was a lot of stuff. I know it's a lot. But hopefully that gives you a little bit more structure to work with your songwriting and compare that with some of the other chords that I worked in, and hopefully this all is kind of making sense. Hope you guys are well, and we'll see you all back here tomorrow. Peace.